Well, hello. Welcome back to Toronto Talent with Tom and Till.
Hi there.
We have a very talented tech and graphical guy today named Brett, who is a classmate of mine, who left for a little bit to go have success and then came back. How are you doing, Brett?
I'm gonna cry. That was so beautiful.
Was it though?
I'm good.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm cold. How are you?
Also cold.
Yeah, no, you know what? That's like the main thing today. We were heading out here, and all I could see was the white snow. I was like, oh no.
Trump's world, it's happening.
It's begun.
Is this the result? It's not supposed to snow in November.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming.
No problem.
You do have a special set of skills, and I mentioned this before, where a lot of people don't really think of that, like graphic design and sort of like that sort of field. It's used everywhere. Everybody sees it. Everybody experiences it all the time, but you don't really think about it.
Yes.
Because it's just sort of natural, right? And so I think you specifically are going to have a very unique perspective on like what it means to like have that sort of ability to be in the face of everybody, to look really, really nice, because the only time you do notice it is when it's bad.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, it's very... I actually have had a roommates before, as I mentioned to you. We were talking a little bit that we're all in graphic design, so it's a very interesting world because it's separate from a lot of things. I think it's sort of its own monster. So like, how have you found yourself in this sort of career path that you're in now?
Well, it's funny because I actually had to do some research on myself this morning to remember kind of how I started and why. But yeah, I kind of started because even growing up, I was really into drawing and art, and I've always considered, I guess, myself a creative person.
That's awesome.
And so at some point, being a kid always on the computer and stuff like that, I'd be on forums and I'd see people like Photoshop pictures and stuff, and I always thought that was cool. So I started sort of doing that, just posting stuff on forums, and then that kind of grew into making like little display photos for people and like signatures back when that was cool.
Yeah. I know, like, back in the day, I used to visit all these forums, like you were talking about, that was sort of, like, right above. Like, you rated the thing that was posted before you in your post, and then you post your picture, and then it was, like, sort of, like, a chain reaction of postings like, hey, look at my art, it's cool, right?
Yeah.
And I've actually I was never posted on those sites. I draw stick figures beautifully, but other than that, I don't really go beyond that.
Listen, that's an art on its own.
It is, right?
It's tough.
Hangman, don't even get me started.
Making a straight line is difficult.
Yeah, that's why you use a ruler. Okay, we're not heathens here. This is an anarchy school.
Exactly.
No, yeah, for sure. So you sort of like you started posting, and did you sort of see a feedback right away from people, or did it take like more time to sort of hone your skill a little bit more? What was your experience in that sort of thing?
Well, there wasn't really a feedback right away sort of thing, but I did, like, not to, like, toot my own horn or anything, but, like, from the beginning, I noticed that it was better than just, like, a lot of people.
Don't be sad about
it was, I can say that a lot of the stuff that I was doing was a lot better than other people who were kind of at the same level, and so that just kind of made me keep going and move away from the forums into, like, it transitioned from that to looking up like classified ads online for people who needed graphic stuff.
Yeah.
And then I discovered like these design contests online where people would post on this website and be like, okay, the winning design whatever gets like $250 or something.
Wow.
And I'd happen to enter one for a business card. And I won, and it was $250, and it was like the first paid thing I ever did, and so I was like, oh boy, this is awesome.
Do you remember what the business card was about? Or like
yes, it was a business card for I can't even say it was a game. The company was called The Big Game Show.
Okay.
And basically they do corporate events and stuff, and like they run a game show.
Cool.
And they have like employees of these companies do the games and take part and stuff like that. So
years down the line, do you think you could go back to them and be like, hey, give me a job?
I don't know. I haven't looked them up recently. Who knows if they're even still a company? I mean, I did at the time look them up, and they seemed pretty big.
Nice. That's awesome.
They're legitimate enough that they had a huge production sort of behind them. And yeah, so then that kind of grew from there, and then eventually I started getting into doing music, like album covers and song covers, and that's kind of taken a life of its own, and that's where I make most of my money now.
Awesome.
If you don't, you should follow him on Instagram. What is Brett's Brettssey? Yeah.
Yes.
But recently, even he does sometimes post like collages of all the album stuff. What are you, 1,200 now? I think was the most recent one, right?
Yeah,
it's a lot of work.
And I'm fairly certain that it's all of them on there. I can't remember it. I've done so many. Like, I literally every once in a while I'll pull it up and I'll see covers and I'm like, oh yeah, I made that. Just because I've done literally in the last 4 years over 1,200 of them.
That's insane.
So so it's a large amount of work.
It's like an album
pushed out.
But does it feel like work, or is it just sort of like go by really fast?
Sometimes I think like one of the ones that I did was an album cover for Royce da 5'9".
Okay.
And that one was work because that one was a lot of back and forth. That one took a couple weeks to kind of lock down.
So they really had a vision they wanted, and you needed to make sure that specific thing was on it?
Sort of. It started out with like, oh, see what you can do. And then, then I guess as time went on, they started to get their own idea of what they wanted.
Okay.
And then they're like, okay, let's try this, let's try that. So that one was work, but most of the time, it's not work. I don't know if I should say that because then people are going to not hire me.
It's find something you like to do and you never work.
Yeah.
That old
and a lot of the stuff that I do doesn't take a long time just because, I've pushed out 1,200 of them. So it's like, I can't really say it's work because it's fun and I enjoy it and it's not difficult for me to do it all.
For sure. No, yeah, that's really cool. Specifically, I just sort of wanted to mention this, that you went to school before at Seneca here. You were a Seneca grad. Or are you still a part of the program? Or are you
No,
grad?
I'm...
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
They pay me now.
That's true. It's in reverse now, which is, I think, the best thing that could have happened. But so you've graduated, but it wasn't from a graphic design program.
No,
it was from Attilio's program.
It's my program.
Yes.
Thank you for being a part of it. It was TV broadcasting, yeah.
And so you haven't really had a formal education on graphic design, but you're still as much in the world of graphic design and like album covers and art as some people, or even more so than people with formal degrees that have come out of school and sort of can't find hard work. So how do you think for those people looking for jobs, how would they go about not to get jobs necessarily right away, but like start making a name for themselves? How do you think they could do that?
Like in design?
Yeah, in design.
See, I don't know, because I think a lot of what I've done has come because I never waited for opportunities. Like at one point I was just creating covers and sending it to musicians and sending it to, like, creating Twitter graphics, sending it to actors to use as like the... So it's like I've never had to carry the burden of a student loan for this craft that I do. So I never ever felt like, oh God, I got to go get a 9-to-5 so I can start paying off this $10,000 that I owe because I took this program. So starting out, I did do quite a bit of things for free, and I was fine with it because it was just a hobby. So I would just say, don't wait for opportunities because it's not going to come. Because you have 100 people, 1,000 people, 1 million people who are doing the exact same thing as you. And all the people that I work with, if I stop tomorrow, they'll be fine. All these rappers and singers, and like, they'll be okay. They don't need me. So you can't wait for an opportunity, and you just have to just keep doing it and really want to get somewhere with it, and eventually it'll pay off. It has to, as long as you keep forcing it.
For sure, yeah. And it's sort of interesting because, like, being a graphic designer, you can you don't really need to meet the client face to face necessarily. It could all be online. You could be in the middle of a town that is nowhere near a big city. Like, you could be in like Bognor, let's say, up north, and you could still be sending your It's interesting because you like earlier, a couple hours ago, even told me that you got a pretty far away client now, right? Yeah, like
basically 99% of what I do is not in Toronto.
Right.
I've had maybe there's this one guy, client turned friend named Decisive, and he's probably really the only person in Toronto that I do work for.
Okay.
Everything else has been online, and like he was mentioning, I'm sort of on retainer for this company in Guyana.
Oh wow.
And like obviously I'm never going to meet these people. I haven't even talked to them on the phone.
Send you a plane ticket.
Yeah, so it's like most of the people that I work with, or all the people really, I've never really met in person. It's always been online through email or Twitter or texting or anything like that.
That's really interesting. Yeah, I did want to bring that up because normally our show we sort of talk about like how Toronto is the hub for the media that we're talking about. Yeah. Where this one specifically is very like you could be anywhere. You don't need to be in Toronto. Toronto's a great place to be, and I'll stand by that. But you could be in New York. You could be in Florida. It doesn't matter. If you put out your work and you keep on putting it out there for people to see. Yeah, I'm just names off the top of my head. But you could be anywhere, and as long as you really show you're passionate for it and you keep on pushing towards your goal of getting signed, getting contracts, I think normally 9 times out of 10 you're going to find it. Yeah. Like I'm not going to say 100% of the time because false promises don't always come true. But I think it really does speak to this sort of new media because this wasn't really a thing too long ago. Obviously, the album art was, but graphic design in general isn't really something that existed for a very long time.
It's an advantage of being in the internet era, or whatever you want to call it, where communication is everywhere, everywhere now, and it's great. It's got to be great for like trying to get stuff started, right? Like,
no, definitely. I think. When it comes to, because like I tried to do TV stuff as well, right? Because that's what I was actually trained in, and something like that you do have to meet people, and it's got to be more of a local thing. But
that's based entirely off of who you know.
Yeah,
that's how you get work.
Exactly. Yeah. And in a creative field, it's hard sometimes to find like-minded people, and so you're just like, okay, forget it. I'm not going to do anything local because what's the point? And like with me, most of my money comes from places like New York. I've gotten quite a few people, actually, funny enough, in Florida. I've got a number of people in Florida. Places like all over the U.S. There's a guy that I work with in France. Oh, wow. There's a guy in Japan.
That's awesome.
All across South America and stuff like that. And it's all word of mouth because they deal with their things locally. Like when they're doing music, for example, they have to go local because they have to do shows. They have to build their connections. So they're basically doing the legwork that I don't have to do. That's awesome. Because of the internet. So it's great.
And then there's like little small time dudes like me who you just do stuff for and don't take payment.
Yes.
Which bothers me.
It's okay.
By the way.
That's fine.
He did.
I don't
when
want
I started
your money.
doing my editing, I asked him to do my graphics. When I did my, let's loosely throw quotes around EP, when I did 8-character pass, where I was like, I have an idea for graphics. So you want to do it? He's like, yeah. Then a week later it was done.
I think this goes back to, I mean, I've been at it for a few years now, so I don't think it would matter regardless. But I don't have a debt to pay back still because of schooling, so awesome. I don't have to put that into figuring out my pricing. If I feel like doing something for free, nothing is stopping me from doing it. Wow. Minus the fact that making this money basically, like, it lets me live because I have my part-time job that I have strictly just to get my rent paid.
Right.
And then, like, all of this other freelance stuff is basically what I live on. So outside of that, there's no real reason for me to charge for something if I don't feel like it. If I feel like you're my friend and I don't want to take your money, then nothing's stopping me. $200. Yeah, like, that's the thing. It's like, why would I do that?
I get paid off over 12 months. That'll work.
I don't take payment installments. I'm sorry.
Jeez. A 4-pack of Monster, you got it.
And the interest is crazy.
Oh yeah, it's insane. It compounds. It's a nightmare. Don't do it. Per month. Don't do it.
No, all jokes aside, because I do want to say that obviously is a joke.
Maybe.
I think it's really cool that you sort of talked a little bit about there that you have a part-time job to pay for rent.
Right.
Is that something you think is common or should be common amongst creative designers and people who are in this sort of field for passion? Because like I find a lot of people who want to get into it, just want to get into creative business, they want to get into some sort of media, but they refuse to really open their minds to like having a part-time job, having a full-time job, and doing something on the side.
Right.
Do you think that is like it's helped you to pay the bills and let you pursue your passion, or does it take away time that you wish you could put towards your passion?
No, I think it's definitely helped because the days of a starving artist being cool is long over. Like bills have to be paid, and you can't not make money. And before, I worked pretty much full time.
Oh wow!
And then the graphic stuff started picking up more, so I quit one of my jobs.
Okay.
And so now it's like I'm slowly trying to move into being able to rely on it full time. But it's just not a realistic thing for you to expect to not be working.
Yeah.
Especially like if you're not living with your parents still, or you have bills to pay, they're not going to get paid by you saying, "Oh, well, I'm just going to do this." Like, it's not realistic. So
that's a common thread in the arts. Like I work with actors, and it's powerfully common for like you hear it all the time. Actors who work as a waitress or they work as a bartender or whatever to like subsidize their habit of being an actor, which is a terrible way to phrase it. But like you can't. It's an unfortunate thing about being in any sort of art form as a career. It's not going to be 7 days a week for you.
Yeah, you're not only going to be in art, you're going to be a waiter, you're going to be a bartender, you're going to do something else.
Or you're going to run the journalism program and fix everything on campus.
Yeah, exactly. In fact,
that might be me.
I do want to say, before the show started, we were having a little bit of technical difficulties with Attilio's mic, and let alone, it wasn't me or Attilio that fixed the mic, but our guest. So thank you for that.
That's what I do. It's what I do sometimes.
It was just something else. I was like, man, we do not run something professional.
I've described them to many people as the best tech on this campus.
Awesome.
Oh man,
it's not. That's a nerd thing, though.
Oh man.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
And thank you for all the people saying hello and everything in the chat. By the way,
those names are too small for me to read, but hey,
maybe I'll open that.
Yeah.
Sup?
No, okay. Quickly, I do want to say that we're going to move over to a bit more news-oriented stuff in a little bit, so be ready for that. And so if we have any last-minute questions, of course, we can get those by, and we'll be... But first, I do want to play...
Hi, Mom.
Yeah. No worries. You're on the air, so of course you got to say hi.
Hi, Brett's mom. I'm a fan of your work.
Hi, Brett's mom. Okay, first we're going to play a little song here. It's called Star Trouble here on Say Radio, the voice of Seneca College.
If every single light in the night sky flickered twice as bright till the end times, if every little moment to moment they wondered sewed into showing, well then he wouldn't have to theorize. If every single tree in the dark days would only catch a breeze and float far away, if every little load and reloading they thundered flowed into showing, well then he wouldn't have to stress every day. But the sun lacks courage, sneaking in sips like he's stealing gold's porridge. The moon's got a little too bright, and the sun won't come out at night. The rays it contrived were a bit too strong, so the moon in reply put some sunblock on. Difficulty catching a break, he sets himself at the lake, watches her rise as he falls, longing for a new dawn. 24 past and he's back to react to the future of his past at last. He thinks, oh, this'll be the day I'll shine so brightly that you'll have to look away. It's a crime how they work so efficiently together, but you can't see the gaze that's blocked by the weather. A simple adjustment of just a justified pride. She'll finally see the truth that lies beneath his eye. In time, he'll find a new pride, but right now, it's rough. The sun comes up, but he wants to go back down into the town to reflect on the feelings he's found. In time, she'll find his rise, a prize, but right now, it's tough. The moon shows up, but she doesn't want to get down. No sound around, no feelings found. Oh, it's a struggle, and needs this man in a bubble. Oh, star trouble. Not subtle, evaporated puddle. It's a struggle, and needs this man in a bubble. Oh, star trouble. Not subtle, too lovable. In a regrettable moment, the sun decided it would try to take an edible moment and shed some light on the sidelines. Fill it up with the white lies, unaware of their flight size. Although the moon didn't notice the sunken tether was bogus, always catching the piercing looks of some judgmental far rise. His decision thought unwise. So if you have a moon of your own that you can't seem to let go, take a page from the sun and shine on your own, even if you're alone. And if you're a moon with your own sun, let them know if it's real or fun. Cause the one thing that keeps him burning is a fire inside that you keep churning. Because the one thing that keeps him burning is the fire inside you keep churning. Start trouble.
Okay, we're back. We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
Hey.
Welcome to Say Radio. This is obviously Tom and Jill, and we're
Hello.
going to be talking some Toronto talent yet again.
Also, Brett.
Also, Brett.
What's up? We're still here. Sorry.
I just want to know if you like have any cool like projects in the works right now or anything like super rad coming up.
I do have some. Some I'm not allowed to talk about. Some I will anyway, because that's just how I live my life.
Whoa, on the edge.
Right now I'm working on a cover for DJ Premier and 21 Pilots.
Oh,
Nice.
That's
They're
crazy.
coming out with a remix to a song. Again, might get in trouble for that, but who cares?
It's okay. Nobody's listening to this.
Okay, that's fine then. That's fine. And then
Harsh, but-
going back to my friend Decisive,
Oh, yeah.
we're working on something. And yeah, I always have projects.
That's
on the
actually
go,
really
so
that's really cool. So like you're getting signed by like big people. Like we did talk about how many projects you've done and like how you've really sort of rocketed into this sphere of cover arts and graphic designing. But like just to put in that perspective, like you dropped a pretty big name there. Like that really does put everything else into the right place where everybody should be looking at like where you can go into this world. Like that's 20. I don't want to say it too much, but the bands there that you were talking about, like they're pretty large and because they put that sort of trust in you, it does mean a lot that then they're like, hey, the world's going to see this.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's not just like Joe Schmo or...
It's not a small thing, no.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
So I do really like, and thank you, as much as I don't want you to get in trouble for anything, thank you for...
the Say Radio exclusive.
Do you want me to censor it with the reference tone and
No.
before it goes on SoundCloud?
Oh, he said no, so no.
No.
Okay.
Don't do it.
Okay.
We're living on the edge. We'll
Yeah.
send it to them.
No, yeah, I've definitely been lucky enough to work with some big names.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely not quite where I want to be yet, so there's still a lot of work to go. I mean, I've seen my name in stores on physical albums, but it's been a while.
Yeah.
So I need that again.
That's awesome.
So I'm definitely working towards. Yeah, it's cool to be able to buy something and say, hey, you see this name there? It's me. It's all right. Here's my ID. It doesn't mean no big deal.
I made the music. No,
Yeah, don't worry about
Just
it.
a little guy named me.
Just me.
Have you heard of Queen? Yeah, I'm Queen.
So I'm definitely still working hard. And,
That's awesome. No,
trying to.
Yeah, and that attitude, like that you're not where you want to be, is a good one to have, especially because like I don't think all of us are anywhere where we want to be. Like I love doing this on radio, and I'll continue to do it for the rest of my life. But like I do want more, and that's a sort of attitude you sort of need for this media stuff.
Yeah, you should never get complacent with where you are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could always get comfortable and feel good and whatever, but there should always be something in your head that's saying, what's the next thing?
And if you do find that you've plateaued and you don't really like the thing you're in anymore, find something else.
Yeah,
right. There's
exactly.
always more passions, and just because you're starting again and you're at the bottom again doesn't mean like you're going to be there forever.
Exactly.
Like if you're thinking that you might be interested in doing art, you might be interested in like rocking out in a band. Just do it.
Yeah.
That's like the motto of what we're doing here on Say Radio. It's just like, just do it.
Just do it.
Take your shirt off, be a frontman, be a rocky band.
We could
Do
have our
it.
shirts off right now and you guys wouldn't know.
I mean,
I do. I do have my shirt off. This got weird all of a sudden. You don't even have to point it out.
I can turn the lights down and get some mood lighting.
That's okay. This is weird.
Although the very plain view window to the rest of the campus might be a bad idea.
That's true. And they were doing like a little talk show.
There are high schoolers in here right now.
All right, so no,
This is
put it back on.
It's not quite the open house, but there's tours going on.
Yeah, no, yeah, and I think that's actually really cool. Speaking of open house, Seneca is having their main open house here on the 26th.
Oh boy.
That's going to be a really, really interesting day. And if you don't know, all of us here are going to be doing something for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to be sitting around and watching a video that I made for the acting program.
Working hard.
I have been. That's the thing. I have been.
Fair enough.
How about we, I just want to we can sort of say exactly what we're going to be doing for the open house and talk a little bit about what we've done. So you like you said, Achille, you're doing...
I've made a hype videos, kind of promo thing for the acting program that they're going to screen at some point.
That's really cool. So they're having a mini screening.
It's, you know what it is? It's just a collection of shots of the classes and some snips of scenes. Eventually I'll be making an actual proper advertisement for the program, but just for the open house it's a 5-minute...
That's awesome.
They really just waiting on the music program to send me a 5-minute track for it. But boy, it's close.
How about you?
I hear no anger in your voice there.
There was it's just words.
I am doing whatever they tell me to do. Cool. So far, that consists of helping set up the actual event on Saturday, or setting up on Friday for the event on Saturday. And then I'm editing a bunch of videos, and I'm helping produce the actual show itself.
That's actually, hearing you guys say what you have to do, I realize that I'm actually, not working at all. Because I'm just going to be doing what I'm doing right now, except... on the 26th.
Oh wait, I'm going to be on the booth with you.
Hey, you could be.
We'll
talk to. Well, we'll talk to the person in charge.
Until go live.
It's
almost like live, but
this is currently live.
Oh wow!
Depends on how many students are also there trying to get onto. But,
that's fair.
It is a lot of fun. We went to an event last night for the independent music production program, and speaking of news, that was awesome. Last night, there were so many acts going, not only students, but alumni as well coming out to the Silver Dollar. And holy, there are some incredible musicians here.
There's a grad of that program that I got to do a couple of videos for named Valeriu Chitak.
Okay.
I don't know, I'm pronouncing it wrong.
Do you know the name?
That's his name.
No, for the band.
No, it's just him. He plays an accordion.
Okay.
It's awesome, man.
That's awesome.
I loved it.
It's a fitting name.
Yeah. Well, he's from Moldova.
This is
John like an accordion player.
I like how we went to this. That was really good.
Of Romance is Born.
Are you saying
your girlfriend over? It's time.
Hi, Cheryl.
We got to get the show notes out of the way. It's okay. No worries.
Hi again, Brett's mom.
Yeah.
Hey.
I'm a fan of your work.
Yeah, no, she's responsible for you being here. So that,
geez.
She did an okay job, I think.
Oh, boy.
I hope. I don't know.
I would say so.
Outside glass looking in, I would say so, yeah.
Inside glass looking out?
Thank you.
Yes, that's the one. Except, not at all.
I have no clue what that means.
It means I'm on the outside. I've met him today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
So the open house will be fun.
Yeah, it should be a real...
Speaking of getting back on track... No, it's going to be a really fun time. If you're sort of interested in coming to school and you're not really sure where you want to be or where you fit in, open house is, I think, the best way to find out. I went to open houses for not only the program I'm in now for radio production, but I also went to one for when I went to private investigation school in Fanshawe. And, that is where I decided. You sort of, you look online, you sort of know what you kind of want to get into, media, you want to get into marketing, stuff like that. But there's so many little corners and cracks, different ways you can go, so many paths that you can take. And I think this is where you can say, I want to get into radio, I want to get into TV, just because you see the students' works, you see the classroom, the environment they're in, and that was a real eye opener. I don't know if you guys went to open houses before you went to school.
No.
I don't. No, I didn't go. I've worked a few of them now, and I see that there often is a lot of interaction with the students and current students and people who want to come here.
Right.
And I think it's a pretty good turnout every year. I think what's cool about this year is that they're doing it a little bit differently because we're really trying to put together the School of Media all together and really push this whole Seneca Media thing.
That's really cool.
And so I think students being able to see like the TV students at work, the radio students at work, the journalism students at work, like all these students actually putting together an event.
Right.
I think they're actually doing a pretty good job this year of really showing off the programs.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I think it'll be a fun event.
And there's been like some redesigns I've noticed like around the school, like signs are a little bit different, especially for the School of Media.
Yeah.
So yeah, and you can sort of see the focus. And like this school really has a high focus on media.
Yeah.
We have like the graphic design program and like the illustration and animation, all this and this and this.
Yeah.
There is some like science stuff going on, but like definitely our focus is like if you want to get into media, this is the place to go.
Yeah.
And I think that is like
Yeah, well, to the credit, there's a lot of really good. The professors are great, and then this is like, as far as I know, it's pretty dang up to date.
shout outs to the professors.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to them.
Yeah. I'm not going to name you because I, don't want to leave anybody out because that would be the worst.
I will.
Plus
Just
copyright.
kidding.
No. So that's definitely something to look out for. But if you haven't noticed, I did want to talk about a little bit of news.
Oh.
It's something that is it's everywhere right now, but you might not have recognized, especially
Snow.
if you haven't gone outside. It's snow.
Oh,
that's
I was right.
We
Okay.
played the game and you did it.
Yay.
It is the first day of snow in Toronto, and oh my god,
I'm so excited, man.
I am not.
I'm built. First off, I'm built for this weather, right? But like, I spent months sweating it out because it was summer, but I was still wearing a hoodie because I don't know, fashion, I guess. And like, super glad that it's cold, but the problem, I've got a crappy back. If I can be forgiven for using a 5-letter word just then,
It's okay.
But like 6. But it's just that time of year where my back likes to lock up, so everything hurts. But bring it on, winter.
Yeah. So, like, are you guys? Do you like sort of drive? Because that's like
I don't
think
drive.
of the winter wonderland, and
neither.
like I was gonna say, the
Hashtag
people
broke.
who hate winter are the people that have to drive it.
That's fair,
Because that
yeah.
is like
Yeah.
the worst part about winter. As a child, you go outside, you build snow forts. It doesn't matter. You're not driving.
But I mean, the alternative is busing
Yes.
during the snow, which
And that
is
sucks always.
equally as miserable.
Because they crank the heat up and everyone's really uncomfortable.
I still remember when I was in London, they decided not to snowplow the pave right in front of my house, and they didn't do it for about 3 months.
Oh, good.
And if you don't know London, they get a lot of snow. So by the end of it, we were like, and I'm going to say the word that's overused and used in the wrong context, but literally
Literally.
we were standing 3 feet above the ground.
Oh,
And I measured it to make sure.
nice.
Because it was the snow was so compact that you would have to jump down to get into the bus.
Snow is dangerous, man.
Yeah.
Like there was a couple of years ago, the first injury that I got. Really, I was at Young and Steeles. I was going to Center Point, walking through the intersection, and it just got paved, so the snow was really flat and slick, and my leg just went out and I landed on my tailbone. Not a good time.
I'm sorry.
Especially when there's 8 seconds left to finish crossing, and I'm just there laying down in front of some cars and being like, please help.
And that is actually something that is good to say, that definitely be careful today.
Yeah.
It might not look like a lot, but even a little bit of snow can make the walks and the drives.
Make your life hell.
It really can.
I think also we've been spoiled.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
we had a pretty good summer, I think,
Yeah.
and last winter barely snowed.
It's true.
And it's November 20th.
Yes.
And we're just now getting snow.
It's true.
So I feel like a lot of people almost forgot that
What
we're
was
in
snow?
Canada.
Well, the last few
Winter's approaching.
Well, to the election, a lot of people suddenly thought they were in the United States, so that's probably why.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
The last few years, it didn't actually snow until January.
Yeah.
The last Boxing Day last year, I was throwing a baseball around with 2 of my cousins in the park by my
Yeah.
house because it was 5 degrees.
That's crazy.
It's not. I'm hoping we get another ice storm like we did in 2013 though, because that was beautiful.
I mean, I hope for it for the beautiful reasons, but the power outages and
Yeah.
people going without
part
heat.
of the fun. How do you think the pioneers went in their houses with no TVs?
Fire.
Fire?
They had fire in their houses.
They all died. That's why they're not here anymore.
It's true.
That's not. I don't think that's how that works.
I don't know. Think about it.
Color invented.
Think about it.
Dude, if we evolved from pioneers, why are there still pioneers?
Think about it.
We're getting a little bit too philosophical here.
Are we?
Hey, we said we were going to do that.
I did say we were.
I didn't even break up my material about being inside the looking glass.
Oh my god. That's crazy.
All right, so about that snow.
Yeah.
It's cold out there, folks.
Wow,
excited,
You're
man.
like handling us instead of us handling you right
That's
now.
why I'm here.
Yeah.
The power of the hat.
No, it's true. Actually, I did want to talk a little bit about a little story. And you guys probably have very similar stories. You talked about this a little bit. Like,
I'm sorry.
One of the first things that I broke was my collarbone. I've broken lots of bones, and I've had many injuries. Let's just say that I'm very prone to injury, unlike my brother, who has literally never stubbed his toe. And I'm saying that with the context of the word literally.
Literally. Because
it's true. But, yeah, so I broke my collarbone back in grade 7. And that was because we were all sliding on ice, as you do, as a 7th grader. And it was my turn to go. Yeah, I slid across the ice. No, fine, totally fine. What I didn't know is the next person who was going to slide decided to go right after me. So when I stood up, she clipped my legs and just suddenly on the floor. I didn't even realize that it was broken. I just stood up, walked to the office, and I was like, I feel funny.
There's nothing quite like that feeling of something happens, you get knocked around or whatever, and you're like, oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah. And then the pain just radiates out.
I think something's wrong, but I'm not quite sure what.
And then, aside from the back thing, all of my injuries have been in this campus, in the studio that I work in.
That's because you live here.
I mean, kind of.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Just to wrap up my little story there. No. The dramatic irony was the person that tripped me had to be my scribe for the next 3 months. So I didn't have to write anything in school because my collarbone was on the side with my writing.
My answer.
It was amazing.
That's a nice perk.
Yeah, Clara, thank you.
Shout out to Clara.
You know the girl from Doctor Who?
Yes.
Nice.
I don't know where she's actually at now, but it'd be interesting to talk.
Oh, they wrote her off the show. It's fine.
Okay, then that's fine.
I'm sorry. I'm not proud. I'm a little proud of that, but not.
Brett, have you sort of had an injury during the winter times, or?
No, not. I mean, luckily, I've never had anything too bad. I broke my toe once because in high school, me and my group of friends, we thought it was funny to kick each other's lockers in because at the bottom there's a piece of metal that I guess prevented it from being kicked in.
Okay.
So we saw that if you force it hard enough, it gets stuck behind, and then the janitor had to come out and pop it open with a crowbar.
Sorry, janitors.
Shout out to the janitor. So we kept doing this, and then eventually we discovered that if you put a bunch of textbooks at the bottom of your locker, it's indestructible, and there's no way of getting into it.
These are very high-tech lockers, by the way.
Yeah. And so one time we did that, and then I was like, okay, let's test it. Let's see if our theory's correct. Let's do it. But instead of, because normally you would stand in front of the locker and you'd heel kick it. For some reason, I thought it'd be smart to go forward with my foot.
Wow.
And I kicked it, and the locker didn't move. But my toe broke.
Something was going to give way.
So it was school related. A lot of injuries happen at school.
Yeah, it was stupid. I don't know why. I knew it would happen because we all said, "Hey, don't kick it like that." But then I did. Then I walked with a limp for a good 2 months.
The gauntlet was thrown down.
As adolescents, if you can't do something, that's just a challenge.
No, exactly. Yeah. That's it. But besides that, I haven't really I've stepped on nails and stuff like that. But
that's a bad one.
Never anything.
It's always a fun time.
I've never really broken anything too serious. Luckily.
Yeah, no, that's for
knock on wood or whatever kids do these days.
Yeah, if you're superstitious, anyways.
Tweet about it.
Walk under a ladder. I think that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah,
didn't bring about today. # knock knock.
Oh shit. No, yeah, that's really good. Speaking of injuries, I remember just to get a bit of off tangent conversation here. In 4th grade. For some reason, my friend decided to whack rhubarb with a stick.
Oh.
Now, this was the activity for the day, and I was the kid that was sort of I'll watch, but I don't want to get in trouble, so I'm not going to do it, right? Everybody knew I was, I was that kid. So anyway, so I was watching him, and I decided to get a little bit too close, and he decided to step a little bit too behind him to get that swing backwards, and long story short, I wore an eye patch for a year, and I was a pirate. Oh. And let me tell you, when you're in 4th grade, you're the coolest kid in the world if you're a pirate.
So what you're saying is that was the greatest thing to ever happen to you.
Yes, exactly. Other than the eye drops mid-days.
That's fine.
I mean, vision you gotta take care of your busted eye.
Yeah.
What do you do, neglect it?
Exactly. Right.
Pirate forever.
I mean, I could be as a fourth grader.
Would that be a bad thing, though?
Exactly.
It might hinder you in getting some jobs.
Maybe.
I couldn't be a sniper.
Could not be a bus driver.
No. I barely could drive, probably.
Could have still been a private eye. see what I did there.
I wish I had a clip to play that.
Cut to Thomas walks in with Eyepatch, points at Eyepatch. This is my private eye. And he lifts it.
Gross.
That's actually really gross. All right, moving on. That was just sort of a little bit of a tangent.
How about that snow, right?
It's really interesting to sort of see so many events happening, and if you guys don't know, Toronto's like a big, like the holidays coming around, and if you're not ready for it, be ready for the mass of events, sales, and what's not going on in Toronto, because I don't think I've ever seen the city so insanely packed as it is on Black Friday.
Well, you got to do what I do and just buy your Christmas stuff over the summer.
Oh,
you got to plan ahead. First of all, for budget reasons, you don't want to get pigeonholed at the end of the year and just bent over because you have no more money. You have to buy all this. Just get in early.
Yeah, except most people like myself don't. And we procrastinate, and then we say, oh, wait, it's Christmas tomorrow. Yeah. I need to buy a card.
Oh, wait a minute. It is December 24th, and I have nothing.
Stockings for everyone.
I hope you like chocolate.
Hey, you know what? Some people are into that as a gift.
It's true. I'm the classic give me money, and as lame as it is, I stand by it. And even as a child, even as a very, very small child, I remember telling my parents that I always wanted money, just because, I know what I want. I know specific things, and if I'm going to buy clothes, I want it to fit. I want it to look good, you know? So that was sort of always the thing. And obviously, as much as I cry to them about giving me money, they're not going to. They're going to still buy you the shirts and the jeans, and you're going to try them on, and they're not going to fit quite right. And then you're going to turn and be like, they're perfect.
I love it.
I got a fantastic 6 pairs pack of socks last Christmas that I'm wearing them right now. 1 pair, not all 6. But also I'm asking for money this year because I want new tattoos. Just give me cash, man.
That is a very interesting thing. Yes. Are you guys the age where now it is exciting to get underwears and socks?
Yes.
Because I've reached that age.
I got underwear, I got socks last year, and I got an ugly Christmas sweater, and I was on cloud 9 for the rest of the week.
So me and Tilly are both at that age, but Brett, you're still hoping for that monster truck?
Yeah, I mean...
Nothing wrong with that. I want a monster truck.
Every holiday where gifts are given, I've never, I almost feel uncomfortable saying, hey, buy me this.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm happy with anything, but I'm sorry, I don't find joy in socks. I can buy those myself.
My Nana gifts us a giant bag of socks every year. And now, listen, I have...
socks?
Well, that's the thing. She'll swap them every year. No. We have I have over 10 cousins, and we all get socks. And you should see just our faces light up when we see them. Very
it's practical.
It's
practical.
Because now I don't have to go buy that.
Yeah,
and
fair enough.
I gotta say, I realized I was at that age of an adult when I woke up one morning, and instead of thinking, oh, I can play Halo now or whatever, I thought, I'm gross, I need to shower. I think that's that turning point.
And I do want to put a focus on that. We're not saying that if you don't want socks and underwear for Christmas, that you're not an adult. But that's sort of just
I am a child.
Let's get real for a second. It's okay if you want socks. Everyone needs them. Unless you wear sandals in the winter. But you should still wear socks.
And then you also shouldn't wear sandals in the winter.
No, if you're going to
throw your sandals out now.
Just wear socks.
I don't understand the bad thing about sandals. You should wear socks when you wear sandals, so you don't get
put
gunk
on some
in there.
shoes, you hippie.
No, I mean, listen, if you're just going around the corner to throw something out, you know the whole how you do about tying the laces up and then
I put on boots.
I've got to throw my galoshes.
In the middle of summer, I just put on some boots. Head to the corner store.
That's fair.
I've actually worked as a ECA, which is an early childhood education assistant.
Nice.
And I can't tell you the fear that has been put into me for people who have sandals or flip-flops and their toes hang over the edge.
Gross.
Because, that happens to kids a lot. They're growing and parents are not going to be responsible for having 6-7 different pairs for every week, right? Because they're growing so much. But oh man, if I ever see a grown person who hang and they curl them over the edge, I I have to ask them to leave.
Sir, your toes are hanging over the edge.
Because, like,
Please get a new pair.
like, I don't know.
Please
you
go.
know,
Just away with you.
Please leave.
if you're a skidder, if you just sort of like swing your feet back and forth like normal people, like just your toes are there. I don't know. It's something that I think is very unique to me, and I'm a bit strange because of it. But like,
No, that makes sense. That's a logical complaint.
Yeah.
Because that shit's weird.
feet
man.
injuries to me are just the worst.
Well, yes,
Yeah.
and you can't walk. You fall over all the time.
Yeah. I'm not going to get too morbid, but my worst fear is to break my Achilles tendon.
Oh, you told me
boy.
that,
Yeah, it is actually a phobia I have, and if like it ever is shown, I have to leave the room.
Did you ever see, I think it was House of Wax?
Yeah, I did
And
watch it.
just,
Yeah.
snap,
Yep, that's
just,
why.
Just chopped it right.
Same with
boy.
the Hostel as well.
yeah.
It's in the trailer.
Oh, boy.
Why would you put that in your trailer? I had to leave whenever it came on. This is not okay.
Yeah, that's awful. That's awful.
This got weird.
Yeah, well, you know, it is what it is.
Well, you know what's weird?
Socks.
Letting your toes hang over your sandals.
Yeah. I
So,
think weirder than the show.
yep.
You
Yeah.
should make some kind of PSA image about that. Don't
Yeah.
do it, kids. That's bad.
Just like scraping toenails. I don't even want to think about it, actually. But, you know, this has been a really fun time.
Can I walk away now?
Yeah, no, actually, very soon you can, because we're gonna wrap it up. I want to thank you again, Brett, for coming on. And I want to suggest everybody check out your work. Do you want to sort of plug in
Yes.
where people can find your stuff?
I do, actually.
Yes. All right.
Okay. If you like photos,
Yes,
I
I
take
do.
photos sometimes. Follow me on Instagram.
Mhm.
My name is Brett's Eye. Get it? Because the camera lens is like an eye.
Yes.
It is BRETTSEYE.
Nice.
Yes.
Yes. If you need artwork for any songs or anything or any graphic design, email me at BRETT@KNAPSACKWAX.com. That's Brett at Knapsackwax.com. What else is there? You can see my portfolio for my artwork at knapsackwax.com. Again, KNAPSACKWAX.com.
COM.
You can follow me on Twitter.
Yes,
at
obviously.
Brett Lindsden,
That's a good one.
BRETTLINDZEN.
Right.
I think.
Zed.
Is there a
Definitely
problem?
go check him out on
Listen,
there.
I said Z most of my life, and everyone's like, Z? Z, what are you, an American? So, I don't know.
Not anymore.
Well, thank you for coming on.
Find me.
It's been a pleasure, and I really do hope that we can have you on later down the line.
Oh, I'm so down.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, so be ready for that. But until next week, guys, this has been Tom and Till with Toronto Talent, that would being Brett, here on Say Radio, the voice of Seneca College. See you next time.